morning friends, hope you are doing well. Just to give a brief introduction, I am Sridhar, corporate legal consultant, and in this YouTube channel we will discuss about national, social, legal and management issues and their problem solutions. This is my first YouTube video, and in this video we will discuss about exploring outsourcing services from rural India and its advantages. I think this strategy of rural development at par with urban and suburban may also suit to other nations also to a certain extent. The intention of this presentation is to bring uniform or proper growth across urban, suburban and rural areas, discrimination removal, optimum utilization of available and economic resources, improving economic well-being and standard of living in rural areas, and finally, objectives accomplishment by the clients and the outsourcing companies for the achievement. This we will discuss elaborately in the following presentation. As you are aware, the rampant spread of COVID-19 outbreak across nations have severely affected global economy. Although India is a densely populated 1.38 billion population, contributing to 17.7% of world population, managing and combating the menace of a novel coronavirus by adopting stringent measures and policies as announced by the state and center from time to time. In optimistic way, we see nothing is permanent or immortal in this dynamic world except change. I have been pondering, like many others, what are the upcoming challenges and how we can explore by optimizing available resources for positive social and positive economic outcomes. Now the operations and works are resuming by opening gateways in every sector, corporate, which were closed for quite some time. Now the biggest challenge for every nation in post-COVID-19 or post-lockdown is to bring back the situation to normalcy by reformation and transformation. I would like to interpret my perspectives that by exploring abundantly available natural and human resources, we can rebound to normalcy, renaissance significantly. In this presentation, we are discussing about exploring outsourcing services from rural India and its advantages. Here I am referring to ITES outsourcing, IT-enabled services outsourcing. Outsourcing is one of the sector which can be focused in the present situation to regulate for orderly growth of this sector for its contribution to the GDP and the economy of the nation. So without wasting your time, let me move on to the topic of discussion. So let's understand what is outsourcing. In outsourcing, one company engages another company or companies, these are called third parties, for execution or delivery of their work. The term outsourcing came from the phrase outside resourcing. The various terms are onshoring, offshoring, nearshoring and rightshoring. In onshoring, one company engages another company within the country, that is domestic clients. And in offshoring, one company engages another company outside the country. In nearshoring, one company engages another company with the neighboring countries, where the time zone difference is hardly a couple of hours. And in rightshoring, the offices are in multiple locations. That is a client center in one location, sales center in one location, and delivery center in one location, delivery or execution center, for the accomplishment of the work or objective of the company. There are various types of outsourcing like BPO, KPO, LPO, ITO, RPO, etc. In BPO, business process will be outsourced, and in LPO, legal process will be outsourced. In legal process, mainly contract management or litigation support or representing the company. These all the things comes under LPO, legal process outsourcing, and EPO, engineering process, engineering related work, ITO, information technology, KPO, knowledge based work, and in RPO, recruitment process outsourcing. This is also known as HR outsourcing. It may be like executive search or training and development or payroll management. These all the things comes in RPO or HRO. And in CRM, contract research manufacturing, many industries outsource this CRM. We will see the example of drug companies or pharmaceutical companies outsource these services. And in CRO, contract research organizations, this is more or less similar to CRM. In CRM, contract research manufacturing, and in CRO, contract research work will be done. These are engaged for in pharmaceutical companies or drug companies for contract research work. Now we will see what are the factors fueled for outsourcing. There are various factors which have fueled for outsourcing. One is globalization, international trade barriers reduction, information communication technology, ICT, growth of internet, rising costs of services, etc. We will discuss one by one. In globalization, the company operates in more than one country. The company's head office in one country, and their operations or their branches are in different countries. International trade barriers reduction. Liberal policies are adopted for international trades for orderly growth of this sector or this trade or this business. And ICT, this is the era of ICT for communication or interpretation. And the growth of internet for online purpose, this plays a significant role. Internet plays a significant role, and rising costs of services. We will take an example. In a company, there is a legal department wherein legal manager is there, and assistant managers are there, and legal executives will be there. So five or six people will be working. So the company have to pay them even if there is no work. So every day we can't expect that there is a litigation in the company. So even if there is no work, these people are paid, six employees, and they will be paid not only salary, they will be paid other allowances, perks, the TA, DA, telephone bills, and other benefits they will be paid. So to control this overhead cost, the company outsources their work to the outsourcing firm. So here what happens, they will give the work, and when the work is delivered, then only they will pay. So when there is no work, then no pay. And the other allowances, this part also the company can get rid of this. And similarly, pharma company, we say in a HR department, sorry, in a HR department, HR manager will be there, assistant managers are there, HR executives. So there also the employees will be paid even if there is no work besides their allowances. So the company outsources their work, executive search work or headhunt work or recruitment work. So the HR consulting firm, they will source the candidate, they will do the basic interview, and they will send their profile to the company. The company see the candidate, and then once their candidate, the outsourcing company referred candidate joins the company, pharma company or any company, any client, then only they will pay the outsourcing fee to the outsourcing firm. So it's like controlling the cost or rising cost of services. That is the one of the reason. And increased automation. Now everything is automated, and NDA confidentiality agreement for security. Signing non-disclosure agreement gives an assurance to the company that their information is safe and secure. It will not be disclosed to any third party or any competitor. So for this assurance, this outsourcing is fueled. And new technology tools, related new technology tools, designed new softwares, all these things come in this picture. Actually, I have to give a few bullet points in each slide, but I don't want to miss any content. And to capture everything, the slides are overcrowded. I thought this may be helpful to the viewers to grasp by reading the content on the slide, even if audio won't work out. Well, significant aspects of outsourcing from rural India. The following are the significant outcomes if outsourcing services or delivery centers are set up in rural India. See, there is a wide scope because we have a huge manpower. Indian population 1.38 billion estimated in 2020, contributing to 17.7% of world population. So we have huge manpower to address the outsourcing services like delivery center or execution center. And we see the rural urban population ratio in 2020, it is 65-35. That is 65 in rural, and urban it's 35. 2 is to 1 ratio. In 1955 it was 80 to 18. So now the ratio is rural population ratio is reduced. Present in 2020 it is 2 is to 1. In 1955 it was 4 is to 1 more or less. I'm not perfect in maths. So still in the present, in 2020, the ratio is 65-35, that is 2 is to 1, double rural population ratio compared to urban. So there is a wide scope of setting up of offices in rural areas, or maximum number of, we can execute maximum number of projects, setting up of more number of offices. Majorly, the outsourcing firms are operated from metros like Hyderabad, Chennai, Bangalore, Mumbai, Delhi, Pune, etc. There is a wide scope of setting up of a branches and delivery center in the rural areas. That is by expanding its operations branches in Tier 2 cities and other interiors. So these are the advantages by setting up of branches in Tier 2 cities and Tier 3 cities. And this we are giving in the following headings. So these are the significant aspects: profit generation, discrimination removed between urban and rural, exploring new reforms in the accomplishment and development of the nation, utilizing time zone difference, opportunity to manpower in rural areas. So we will discuss in each slide, each heading in each slide. So friends, in this slide we will see profit generation. First one, decentralizing projects. So decentralization of projects means the setting up of offices in different rural areas besides urban. So if it is only one particular metro office is there, only all the projects have to execute. So if the company, outsourcing company, set up their offices in rural areas also, then the company will share their projects to all these offices. So decentralizing the projects, and even state and central governance decentralization projects. So we see even the corporate formula of decentralization for maximum returns, you know, can be applicable to state and center. Like if they set up their offices or administration offices or operations offices, whatever departments, if they set up in different rural areas or different territories or different areas of a state or nation, then there will be a uniform growth without any discrimination. Otherwise there will be a discrimination: tier 1 and tier 2 cities, metro and rural areas. So this discrimination can be removed and uniform growth can be seen in state and center, with this decentralization of projects, and executing tasks and delivering desired results. So we can execute more number of tasks, more number of projects. More officers are there, more projects can be handled, and more people are working. So the turnaround time for the project execution will be less. So maximum returns will be seen, and the company can complete more number of projects in short. And that's what as I told you, the company can complete the projects within a short time, within stipulated time, and with good profits, and working on a contingency model. So this is the major challenge every outsourcing company initially they will come across. Because the client or the company, when they want to share their projects to an outsourcing company, they will see what is the size of this company, outsourcing firm, what is the team size, and what is the caliber of their team, and what type of projects they have handled earlier. So all these parameters they will look into that. Then only if they will get the confidence, then they will share their projects. So newly started outsourcing firm, they will come across lot many challenges because they have not handled so far. So here in this, the formula of contingency model working will be helpful for the newly, set up offices. Contingency model means initially working for 15 days, for a fortnight or a month time, free of cost, or charging a nominal cost, like whatever the expenditure incurred for handling the project of the client. For that only, if the outsourcing firm will charge without looking at the profit initially for 15 days or 1 month. Then if the client is satisfied with the outsourcing firm's work, this 15 days or 1 month, then they will get into the permanent contract with a retainership, and then they will calculate their profits for their project execution. So this is the contingency model which can be looked at initially by the outsourcing firms. So friends, in this slide we will discuss about discrimination evolve between urban and rural. So if you set up an office in rural areas also at par with urban, then you are bringing the uniformity between urban and rural. And in this digital era, with basic infrastructure, the company can operate from anywhere. They need not to sit in metro IT park. They can operate by sitting in an economic building of a rural area, and the business is operated online. So with this basic infrastructure, the company can operate online work or electronic digital transaction, whatever. If these facilities are available, Nowadays, everywhere these facilities are available. So with this, they can operate from anywhere. We have seen lot many DPOs, LPOs, and now the new strategy of working from home. This is being incorporated by many IT companies. Not only IT, other companies are also incorporating, because the work can be done from home or from economic rural areas. They can incorporate that, and this way they can reduce their cost also. Friends, in this slide we will discuss about exploring new reforms in the accomplishment and development of the nation. We can explore outsourcing LPO with the new structural reforms taking place in every sector. These reforms are to regulate, protect, and liberate, promote, and orderly growth of the outsourcing like BPO, KPO, LPO industry in the economic development of the nation and by facing the current challenges. For example, we see the government has removed the difference between the definition and criteria of manufacturing-based MSMEs and service-based MSMEs. This is with effect from 1st July 2020. And now they added turnover and increased investment. Earlier MSMEs are based on the criteria of scale of investments. Now they added turnover. And MSMEs contribute to around 30% of Indian GDP. So this is one of the sector which is being focused, and now the government has changed and made in uniform definition for both service based and manufacturing based MSMEs. And friends, MCA is making its fair share of efforts for ease of doing business. Ministry of Corporate Affairs, in their website we can see simplified pro forma for incorporating a company, and FDI policies are also liberalized. Earlier, for company registration, lot many manual documents through the concerned people, it has to submit to the concerned department, registrar of companies department. Now MCA website is available in which all the performers are available, with which the company can be incorporated. Central government launches transparent taxation platform from 13th August 2020 to benefit the honest taxpayers. So there is no physical interface between the taxpayers and tax authorities. When there is no physical interface or physical communication, physical interaction, then there is a less scope of negotiation or corruption. So the corruption can be controlled, and alleged harassment by the officers to these honest taxpayers. Atmanirbhar and self-reliant without depending on other countries, as we have sufficient resources, good resources and industries. And human resources also, which I have discussed in my previous slides. This is the vision of our PM Sri Narendra Modi, and central and state government liberal policies. So Atmanirbhar and liberal policies for to protect the individuals. And new economic policy, LPG model, liberalization, privatization, and globalization policies. This policy came in came on 24th July. And the new economic policy, that is LPG model, liberalization, privatization, globalization model, introduced on July 24th, 1991, during the period of Sri P.V. Narasimha Rao, Dr. Manmohan Singh. And friends, utilizing time zone difference. Time zone plays a significant role. As an outsourcing firm from India to US client, our work time starts by the closing of their work time, and vice versa. So time zone plays a significant role. The use of external personnel can expand the internal bandwidth to reduce the turnaround time for projects. The use of combination of offshore onshore teams can also allow the organization to complete the project in a shorter time frame. So we can see this, by an example. Example: client is from US and outsourcing from India, and India is a 10.5 hours ahead of US. So when they are working, it's a relaxing time for them. When they are working, it's a relaxing time for India, and when Indian time work starts, they are relaxing. So the project will be continued. So they will work, and they will hand over this project to the Indian outsourcing firm, and the Indian firm will continue the project. So there is no break in the project or in the work process. For example, the 12-hour time difference between the US West Coast and India permits 24/7 operations. Offshore teams can work throughout the night to complete the project by the morning. So for them it's a night, but for us it's working. And for us, if it is a night, for them it's working, so the work will be continued. And the outsourcing firm operating in India have a different time zones, so with offshore clients US, UK, Singapore, etc. So we are India 10.5 hours ahead of Washington DC, USA, and 5.5 hours ahead of UK. Australia is 5.5 hours ahead of India, Tokyo, Japan, and Singapore. It's a couple of hours, 3.5 hours, 2.5 hours. So we see, the difference. Offshore clients means the clients which are outside the country, like US, UK, and onshore is within the country. Time zone is same. Offshore clients time zone is difference. There is an advantages of offshore clients and advantages of onshore clients and even nearshore clients. See, the advantages of onshore is same time zone, so anytime we can interact and we can get the things clarified then and there. And if it is a near shore, that is neighboring countries like Tokyo, Japan, Singapore, hardly couple of hours, 2 hours, 3 hours, 2.5 hours. Even I worked for Malaysian clients. It's a pharmaceutical company where I have placed some candidates. So there also the time zone difference is hardly 2.5 hours. Kuala Lumpur, their office. So I worked for them 2.5 hours. So whenever I have an issue, I will pick up a phone and I will call them. And when they have an issue, they will come online. So that way we are interacting. It's very convenient to interact with them. This is an advantage with the nearshore clients. If it is a US client, so then the time zone is totally different. For them night, for us a day, or for us a night, for them day. So the advantage with the offshore client is that when they are working, we are relaxing, and when we are working, they are relaxing. So the process will be continued, the project will be continued, and right shore, near shore we have discussed, and right shore means the offices are in multiple locations, sales center in one location, business center, client center in one location, and a delivery center in one location. So all these offices work together for the common objective, for the accomplishment of common objective of all these companies or corporates. So this is the advantage of a time zone. Now we will discuss about profits with a less investment, return on investment. Any profit-oriented company will look for maximum profits with a less investment. So if you see in metros, the cost of living is more, whereas cost of living is less in rural areas. Office setup can be from economical building, unlike major IT parks. In rural areas, it's economical and less investment on infrastructure. Infrastructure cost is also less in rural areas, and convenient economic transportation and time of transportation. So here we see transportation in metros, it will take more time to travel, and in rural areas it will take less time. In metros, example, I'm in Hyderabad. For me to travel from one end to other end, it will take during peak hours, rush hours, it will take 2 hours time. So from one end to other end. If I will go to the rural areas or even district level, I can travel within 15 minutes or maximum at the most within 30 minutes I can reach from one end to the other end. So the transportation time is saved. And in Hyderabad, if you see the metro facilities there, metro train facilities there, even if I travel with that metro train also, it will take at least 1 hour on an average. And even for that also, I have to go to the metro station to pick up or for boarding a train. And after getting down at the destination point, I have to again pick up or hire an local transportation to reach my place. So these are the additional overhead costs. So not only time, not only transportation time, not only cost, and apart from this, I will also become tired. I will be spending 2 hours traveling one way and 2 hours coming back to my place. So 4 hours I will be spending in traveling. So where is the time for me to spend productive time to spend for the office work? It will affect my productivity. I will become tired, and even it's costly, because in metro the prices are varying compared to the rural. Metro trains, it's costly, and even I have to go to the metro station, that is also another, I have to pay. So this is about the transportation, which will play a significant role in rural areas. It's economical, convenient, healthy transportation. I mean, healthy climate, we can work, and raw material approval time, etc. So these are the factors. Not only this raw material approval for every industry, not only outsourcing. So this way we can get the maximum returns with minimum investments. Infrastructure, transportation, as I told you, transportation perks, yeah. And even in metros, additional perks will be given, metro allowances, because the cost of living is more. So additionally, the company has to pay the employees or working associates additional perks. Remuneration is also more, or compensation of employees is you know more in metros and less in rural areas compared to the metros. Okay, and rural areas have less cost of living. That's what I have already discussed, and more productive and work delivery. So rural areas, cost of living is less, more productive environment will be there, and good work delivery. Short, convenient traveling time in these areas, and hence the employees can have the sufficient time to contribute without fatigue or tiredness. So here in metros, we are spending 4 hours one way. Sorry, 2 hours one way, 4 hours two ways. So 4 hours when we are spending, then where is the time for us to spend time for the office work? And even if we have time, the productivity will be less, compared to the rural, because they will be traveling hardly half an hour or maximum 45 minutes. Cost of living is less in rural areas, tier 2 cities compared to the urban areas or tier 1 city or metro. So this way we can get the profits with less investment, and every profit oriented company's objective is this, profits with less investment. And in this we will discuss about opportunity to manpower in rural areas. So we can create an opportunity to the manpower in these areas. Here we can get professional and hardworking labor, and more number of professionals can be explored in an economic way. As I told you, in metros it's costly, everything is costly, cost of living, transportation, everything. Whereas in rural areas it's economic, and even metro allowances should be given to the metro employees. In rural areas there is no such metro allowances. So economical way we can get these professionals, and some people may not like to move from their stations because of various reasons: family, children, parents, health, children study, other tangible or intangible factors. So lot many issues are there with which they are not willing to come out or move to the metros or other areas. So if opportunity created to them in their places, they can productively involve and generate good business, or will contribute for the good business. And setting up of branch firms in these areas will be advantageous to them, that will contribute productively. So that's what as I expressed. And now affecting work, not affecting work process in tier 2 cities. So since the nature of work is online, with the basic infrastructure, they can operate from anywhere. And apart from this, if there is a requirement of personal meeting or personal interaction, the head office people can go to their places, I mean to the rural branches, or rural branches will be called for the meeting to the head office. So if required for a personal interaction by the office people, they can interact. Either they will go to the, I mean, head office will go to the rural area, or rural people will come to this. Whereas the work process is concerned, it will be more productive or more economical from the rural areas, and also it will give opportunity to the manpower in the rural areas who are not willing to move because of various factors as I discussed. So as I told you, the work is equal or more productive since the main nature of work is online. So it won't make any difference if they work from rural areas. It will be more productive, rather I say. And major work involves telecom, video call, online conference, working on a specific software designed for their projects, research, analysis, documentation, reporting. This can be done from anywhere. Maximum work is online work. The employees or the management can be interacted through video call conference. So as and when required, they can interact online about to track their work, what they are working at, whether they are working or how they are working, whether any corrections are required. So that can be done through online calls or Skype or WhatsApp, whatever. Nowadays, WhatsApp is playing significant role, and this way the firms can operate from rural markets. By this, the firms can execute maximum number of projects and generate more number of new projects. So, maximum number of projects will be addressed and generate new projects. One more significant aspect is creating awareness towards outsourcing, like BPO, KPO, LPO. So, in rural areas, the people are not aware of this BPO, KPO. Only in metros, these offices are set up, BPO, KPO, other outsourcing. So to set up the office in these rural areas, first the candidates, the professionals should aware of this. What is this BPO or LPO or KPO will do, or outsourcing. So exploring outsourcing firms in India by creating awareness, offering related courses at academic level. So academic level, these courses should be taught because these jobs require specialized skill set, professional academic knowledge like engineering, troubleshooting, technical know-how in this segment, and in LPO, contract management, legal challenges, addressing legal issues. So these all the things come in LPO. So these should be taught at an academic level so that the candidates will come or join the job with a passion. They will come with a choice, but not by chance. The candidate who will come with a choice will definitely be a productive to the company. And acquaintance with LPO, international law, West law, US, UK law, client law. And the acquaintance should also be created towards these laws, in mainly international law, which will be helpful to interact with all the international clients. And specific client law, US law, UK law, West law. So when we are interacting with one client from one nation, we should know what is their law, because while handling their projects, we may come across some challenges, some legal challenges. These things can be addressed if we are aware, if we are getting acquainted. This can be taught not only through academic but also through debates, trainings, and interns also. And one more significant thing, penetrating in untapped potential market. So the companies, outsourcing firms are operated from metros. We can penetrate to the untapped rural market, which are so far not tapped. And these are the new market. These are the good potential market. We can get good returns on investment with less investment in this market by setting up of more number of outsourcing firms or LPOs. And we can develop the market potentiality with ethical approach, professional standards, corporate culture, company policies, standard operating procedures. So these are the new market which are untapped. These can be focused to get the good returns with less investments. Here we will discuss about optimum utilization of resources. We can utilize optimally the resources by spreading and penetrating in rural areas. So we have abundant resources, human resources, and other resources like infrastructure resources. This we can optimally utilize for better outcome. Utilize optimally the cost-effective resources like talented workforce, professionals, workspace, infrastructure, cost of living. So these are the resources which can be optimally utilized, and the resources like talented professional in rural market are optimally utilized. They can deliver the desired results within stipulated time. So ultimately, in this slide, we would like to highlight that optimum utilization of resources which are available in rural markets. It may be human or natural resources. All these things will be optimally utilized to get the better outcome. Executing and generating more number of projects. So successfully executing and delivering maximum number of projects with desired results within stipulated time and generating more leads of projects. So if we execute more projects, then we will generate more projects. So after completion only we can get the new projects. And generating more new clients beside retaining existing. So the major challenge is retain the existing project, get the new project. Retain the existing client, get the new client. That is the formula for any profit-oriented company. And we don't know tomorrow what happens. The existing client may not give or may shift to the other consultant, other outsourcing firm. So to protect that, we have to retain and generate and give the more projects. Address the more projects. No fatigue and pollution-free, tidy environment. So good environment, healthy environment, no tiredness, and expand delivery centers based with more talented professionals. So in all the previous slides, we have discussed this. Equal opportunity to professionals in rural areas also. Here, see in the previous slide, we have discussed about opportunity to professionals, creating opportunity. Here I am saying equal opportunity, that is at par with the metros. So equal opportunity to professionals, bringing uniformity, equality, equal opportunity can be provided to the talented professionals in tier 2 at par with metros, bringing uniformity without discrimination in opportunities in all areas, equal growth of the state. Even in my one slide, I have discussed that the government should also implement this formula of a uniform development of the state or the nation by decentralizing projects or offices, operation centers, or departments. So bringing this will bring the uniformity and no discrimination. If invested in metro or set up office in metro, then only that area will develop and other areas are discarded. So that's the message. So if you put up everything in one area, only that area will be developed and other areas are discarded. So then starts discrimination and all. Uniform distribution and opportunity leads to the uniform growth of the state and the nation. So this is the message. So by setting up of offices, we can generate employment and we will make them responsible citizens contributing to the nation. So we will provide employment opportunity to them and also make them responsible citizens contributing to the nation. They will also feel secure and become optimistic about their financial future. There is a saying proverb, idle mind is devil's workshop. This proverb aptly suits here. And we can eradicate poverty. Poverty can be eradicated by giving employment in these areas, and their economic well-being can be addressed in these areas. In rural areas, the qualified professionals are there, who are deprived of employment without opportunities. So though they are qualified, they won't get the right job, suitable job as per their qualification. So they are deprived of that. This issue can be addressed, and not only this, their financially they will feel secure, economical well-being, improves their standard of living, and lead the kind of life they want if enough income is generated. So whatever they plan as per that, if they achieve, they will lead the kind of life what they have planned. Potentiality, recognition, and utilization. So huge potentiality is there which can be recognized and which can be optimally utilized by setting up these offices. So optimally utilize the potentiality in the development of the nation, and resources of potentially manpower resources potentiality is recognized and utilized in these areas. And one more important aspect, the government should come up with liberal policies to corporate who are setting up of offices in rural areas. So there should be some liberalized policies who want to set up, the corporates who want to set up their offices in rural areas. The way the government giving or providing liberal policies, some exemptions in tax or some other exemptions and benefits, who will set up their offices in SEDGE or infrastructure in SEDGE, special economic zone. The same way, if government should come up with some policies, some sorry, if liberal policies to set up the offices in rural areas, this will be a sort of encouragement to the outsourcing companies by the government also, ultimately for the development of the nation. So advantages to the clients. Till now we discussed the advantages to the outsourcing firm or the rural areas or the people working in the rural areas. Professionals working in the rural areas. In this slide, we will see the advantages to the clients. What are the advantages? Symbiotic benefits to all associating parties or collaborating parties. So there will be a symbiotic relationship. Symbiotic means mutual exchange of benefits. So both will get benefited. Associating parties, their clients and the outsourcing firms, everybody will get benefited. Exploring outsourcing services from rural India will not only benefit the outsourcing firm but also to the collaborating or associating clients as well, because of getting quality work done economically within the stability by the outsourcing firm. So here we see by associating with the rural areas, the clients will also get benefited because their work will be done in an economical way, because cost of living is more in metro. So if they will associate with the metro outsourcing firm, the price will be more. Whereas if they associate with the rural areas, the price will be less. And the people are working in rural areas. They are qualified professionals which are not tapped. These are the untapped markets. So there is no competition. Competition is less. So clients will also get their work done, within the stipulated time from these areas. So these are the advantages to the clients. These both are more associating party will get benefit with the long run mutually beneficial harmonious relationship. So everybody will get benefited. Sorry. So everybody will get benefited with the long run mutually beneficial harmonious relationship. So these are the advantages to the clients. So friends, with this I am concluding my presentation. We have seen the significant aspects of outsourcing from rural India. What are the advantages to the rural people, providing opportunity and national development, and also it's a symbiotic benefit between the associating parties, clients and consulting firms, and the process will be done within the stipulated time, desirable results. So these are the things which we have discussed so far. And with this conclusion, I request you to share your feedback and your remarks, questions, or any advices on this presentation. And also, we request you to share if you would like to know any other presentation relating to corporate legal service management services. Because I hail from a corporate background, I carry a rich experience working with the pharmaceutical companies at a very senior level. I work for sales, marketing, business development, HR, and now I'm into corporate legal services. So we will come back with the proper presentation as per your request. And apart from this, we request you to share anything in the present discussion we have discussed about the MSME, micro small medium enterprises. I have discussed only 2 points. That is the only one definition, both service based and manufacturing based came in one sector, one definition, one criteria. That way, if you would like to know anything in detail, in elaborate, you can just share your concern in the links which I have given in the next slide, in the social media links, or you can drop me a mail. You can call me. And presenter hails. That's about me. I can't boost myself. This is the link in which you can see my profile. So we will meet in the next video. Thank you.